everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. The Cowboys have had plenty of epic seasons in their history, and this is shaping up to be another one. They come into this game undefeated, a team that so far no opponent has been able to slow down. It's the Cowboys going up against the Eagles. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
Green 39! Green 39!
Wentz now on first down. This complete left side to Aguilar. A gain of 6 there on first. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
Hey, watch 11, watch 11.
Wentz to throw on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here's a carry heading left. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to launch this thing way down. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. That one goes for 36 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. First and 15 here behind the chains. Now Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Dorial Green-Beckham, and now it's second down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Second and goal to go now. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Randy Gregory entered the league with people excited about his pass rushing skills. They continue to stay excited about his potential.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Now Ryan Suckup will come on and try the field goal. This from 42 yards out.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
And now here come the Cowboys. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 23 yards on the play. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Bortles to throw on second down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way. That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Deep drop. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Shift together here from the D-line. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
We got three, fellas. Here we go now.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A good pickup there, a 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Here we go now. Green.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. So after that stop, you know that 3rd down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the necessary yardage.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Here we go now. Watch him now, Barney.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So this game's not very far along, and he's already found the end zone once, and now he started this drive with another big gain, another 1st down run. I got to wonder if I'm the defensive coordinator. What do I do in this situation? It's only the 1st quarter, but do I go ahead and sell out and try and slow him down and make him beat me another way? Because the risk is, if I don't, he ends up having a monster game.
Fresh set of downs here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue,
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
3-19.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
3 down. Set! Green, 39!
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Hurts over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. From the red zone now, Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
They'll come out in the pistol. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Sliding out of the pocket. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Hey, boys, got 4 down.
On play action, Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us, and then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line, and they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Bortles. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put...
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And he knocks it through. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They begin with a run by Miller. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Going down the middle, and it's complete. 23 yards on the play.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Lucky Whitehead, his intended target. That'll bring up second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. This will be caught at the 2. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Throwing now is Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down.
They come out here in the eye.
Blue 45.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Lamar Miller, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he cuts it out to the sideline. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Here's Wentz to throw. Green Beckham has it over the middle. They'll get 23 yards there. And that leads to a Philadelphia first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And he puts it through. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line. And they're going to go soft on the corners. They go play action here on first down. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On first and 10, here's Bortles. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Bortles now to throw. He's got time. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Bortles. He's got time in the pocket. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. He's got his man on the crossing route. That one good for 6. And the drive will continue. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run with Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards on the pickup. And the Cowboys are going to get a 1st down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called, not so much just to, to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
Met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But one of the things you like about a zone read play that has an option component to it is that it gives you plenty of different ways to go. On this one, though, I'm not sure they chose the right one. Maybe they should have pitched it out on this one because that play was absolutely swallowed up. Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Finding time. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Green 39. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a cutback right sideline. Touchdown, Philadelphia. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. Would you say 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails...
He's got a man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now a play fake. Bortles toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Bortles to throw on second down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Wentz going to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
He sets to fire deep. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
That one goes for 24 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in his performance. After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Tim carry now for Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Bortles going to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
Gun! All right, here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. They come out here in the eye. Again, it's Miller. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now Bortles. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Shift together here from the D-line. Here's a give to Miller. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Lamar Miller with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. And he'll bang that one through. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Philadelphia. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This will be fielded at the 8. He hurdles him.
Should get a gold medal for that one. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll come out in the pistol. To throw is Bortles. And some room to work. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on first down. He was looking for his tight end, James Hanna, and that'll bring up second down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one.
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose. The big fella, the 30. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done.
And he's in. Front Eagles touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And to give this time to the tailback. Bulldozes past him. It's a 6-yard run. Leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. And they're going to speed things up here.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And now they're in the hurry up. Bortles now on 1st down. surveying the field. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
It's a gain of 7, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Bortles. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They faked that. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. Look at the big man rumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. 30. And oh, at the end of it, he stripped. Ball comes loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. And from the 9-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the...
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Eagles send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And out now now come the Cowboys. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Five wides in the game, four of them to the right side. Bortles now to throw. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Here we go now. Green.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost.
This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it all the way down to the 3.